Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw This time, and it's going to be on One of Them Days. Now, I've heard of this movie, I just didn't know if I really wanted to see it, because from the looks of it, we're still in January, and there's probably still going to be another one of those movies that's just dunked out, because, well, you know, the year usually doesn't have a good start, and, you know, it hasn't really been that good of a start this year because of, well, I don't really gotta get into that, but I decided to see it anyway. Now, this movie comes to us from the directorial debut of Lawrence Lamont, and this movie involves two roommates played by Keke Palmer and Caesar as they are struggling to pay their rent when one of the roommates gives the money to her boyfriend, and from there on out, they have to try and get that money back. But of course, that doesn't go smoothly, so they have to try and find other ways of making their money back before the end of the day so they can pay their rent. I have seen the trailer for this movie, and I just went in with as low expectation as possible because this could go either way. This could be another generic comedy trying way too hard to be funny with raunchy humor, or it could be a genuine surprise and actually manage to make me laugh once in a while and actually have some deep meaning behind it. I wouldn't say the meaning behind it is deep, but surprisingly, I found this movie to be quite relatable, shockingly. And as for the movie itself, I had myself a blast. I could definitely see why some people, or quite a bit of people, actually came to see the movie. Not really a major amount of people, but the movie did manage to make its money back, surprisingly. And it beat Wolfman at the box office. Not by much, but yeah, that's something that I kind of wasn't expecting. I will say I did like this more than Wolfman, so I can certainly see where people would go to see this movie instead. As Keke Palmer and Caesar are excellent together. They have great chemistry and they are hilarious. The scenarios that they get into just for trying to pay their rent on time, it was an absolute it was just so entertaining to watch. And the movie's not super long either. It's an hour and 37 minutes, and it pretty much gets you right into the point of what you tend to expect, as there's not a part to the movie that changes the storyline whatsoever. I mean, there are times in the movie where certain scenes happen, and then there are parts later on that give you a hint of what certain parts to the movie, well, it's hard for me to get into because, you know, spoilers and all, but, you know, there are parts of the movie that give you a hint of, like, where certain scenes will go, and they kind of over-explain a little bit of, well, it's not really all that important because all you expect from this movie is just to laugh, and I did quite a bit. It's absolutely hilarious when it comes to its writing and dialogue and these two characters together. It was a treat to watch. Now, in terms of the film's relatability, I, for one, myself, live in an apartment by myself, and I have to pay my rent on my own. I don't have any roommates, but, you know, the fact that these two are just struggling and just the fact that when it gets to these scenarios, every time it seems like they succeed, you just know that there's a catch to this entire thing. And that does make the movie kind of predictable, but then again, we wouldn't have a movie. And I'm glad that, you know, things, well, I'm not really happy that things don't end up going their way. I just like how, you know, something worse happens for them and something just changes for them to, you know, lose the progress that they made. And with each act, it just gets crazier. Like, when it gets to the last act of the movie, I'm not going to spoil, it just goes completely bonkers, and it kind of made me feel like I was watching a different movie. And it does have those titular cliches you would see in not just a comedy film, but any type of movie. There's one specific cliche that I'm not really going to spoil, but it's one of those scenarios where something bad happens and, you know, the two people fight, but, you know, it ends up having a happy end in the end. So, yeah, I'm not really going to get too deep into that because there's really not a whole lot for me to get deep into. It's your basic comedy film, your basic buddy comedy film about two women trying to, you know, get their rent straight, but things keep going differently, and that's where the fun entirely lies. And it's not too long, it's not too short, it's just the right runtime. And the movie is very well paced too, so all in all, I had myself a blast watching this one. I love the chemistry that these two have, and I cannot wait to see where the director goes from his career, because this is a great, strong start, and it's something that critics and audiences can agree on. Like, they have been agreeing on it, and it's certainly one of them days where I go and see a movie with low expectations, and it turns out It was much better than I thought it would be, and I'm glad I went to go see it. So this is the week where I see that one movie that I want to try seeing before I make my best of the year list, and it's way longer than this movie by 2 hours. You can probably guess what it is. If you've heard of it, you can try guessing in the comments. One commenter in my two videos before asked me which movie I was going to see. So yeah, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.